Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, my beautiful friend. How are you?
Ah, ah,
Long time,
long time
Monique.
no. I know,
How
long
are you?
time no see, no speak, no. But it's good to be seen and to see you too.
Yeah, same here, same here, same here. We thank God for
Mm.
life.
Yes, so look at my sister, Haronki Joe. I harassed her. I said she must join.
And that's Laduni. My sister's daughter too is here.
Okay. I
Ladun,
see
how are you?
Fumi is here. Fumi Odetoyibo is here too. Remember Fumi from Ife?
Well, I didn't go to Ife. I went to
Oh, of
Unilag.
course you went to that other school. Oh, I keep forgetting. Oh, I forgive you. Mm. I forgive you because you did not know at the time.
No, Unilag is the greatest too.
Okay, let's not waste time, debating the obvious. Let's not uh, let's not even waste time debating the obvious. We'll just keep going. It is.
Sister Yemisi, welcome. Dekemi, Ronkaderi Bigbe, welcome. Doyin, welcome. Oh, Sister Doyin, welcome. Up, yes, so up Unilag. Great Akokite,
Listen,
greatest Akokite,
listen. Let's not waste this
great
time
Akokite.
debating the obvious. Those who know, they know. The best university is Ife. But you people, let's not even waste time debating the obvious.
There's no need.
But like I
Everybody knows
said,
Lagos,
we
University
for
of Lagos.
Sheke, we forgive you because you didn't know at the time. You didn't know. It's okay. It's okay. Now you know. So as long as you know now, we
Well,
forgive you.
I'm not accepting, Sha.
My husband went to Ife, went to Unilag too,
Ah,
so we
very
have
good.
this discussion.
So, is it coming on?
I think he's already on actually.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on.
I'm sure he's the
He's
one
on.
that said up Unilag. Is it the one? Aston Cross.
No, that's not him. No, that's
Okay.
not him. Yeah,
Okay.
that's not him. Let me
All
see. Okay,
right.
he's not on yet. He'll come on. Okay.
AP Mom, welcome. Kenny Diva, welcome. So we'll start. It's 3 o'clock
Yeah.
already. So hello everyone. Welcome as always to Adenise Palo. I really appreciate all of you that tune in every Sunday. It's no longer fortnightly nights, every Sunday. So I appreciate all of you that always tune in. Thank you for being what should I use? Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. All right, so Adonis Palo focuses on Africans who live in the diaspora, impacting lives, inspiring and motivating lives also, and also giving back to the society in some cases, most times, giving back to society. And today we've crossed over to the United States of America. We've been doing UK. We did America once. Now we're back to America. And next week, by the grace of God, we are going to South Africa. So, but today, this Sunday, we're in the United States of America. All right. And from that United States of America, I bring you Nike Aderi Bigbe Aremu. Nike, so welcome, Nike.
Hey, it's good to be in Adonis Palo. Greetings
Thank
from
you for coming.
Johns Creek, Georgia, United States.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, Nike, can you tell the people who you are?
So, hi Tony. My name is Nike Aremu. Nike Adiribibi Aremu. Adiribi is my maiden name. The Aremus have paid a hefty fee, so now I change it to Aremu. So I'm Nike Aremu. I live in Atlanta.
Your husband
I
has just
am
joined. Let's welcome him. Welcome.
welcome to my
Welcome.
boyfriend of 30 years.
Sorry to
So I live
interrupt
in
you.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm married. I have two children, Toby and Tolu. I threatened them to join. I think they might join later. I own a home care agency. I also own a home care consulting agency. And I also founded and I run a sickle cell foundation out of Atlanta here, but our work is primarily in Nigeria. And we do that in memory of my sister, Femi, who we lost 3 years ago. I'm also an author. I've written 3 books. Don't Waste Your Pain, Good Morning, Lord, It's Me, Your Favorite Daughter, and Kicking Grief in High Heels. So those are my 3 books. And so, yep, that's me. I went to the great University of Ife. I'm going to go and say this one time. I went to the great University of Ife, the best university in the world. This is not up for discussion. End of story, period.
For those who want to believe her, it's up to you. Unilag, I went to University of Lagos. Greater Cockaites, University of Lagos is the greatest university on earth. Thank you. Yeah, so tell us about your growing up, when you were growing up, your childhood.
Okay. So I was born in London. I was born in Kent, Gillingham, Kent. And
Oh,
I
my
was in
sister-in-law
London.
lives in Gillingham.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
112 Shakespeare Road, Gillingham, Kent. It's amazing how you remember where you grew up.
Yeah.
That's where we lived. I lived there with my nanny. My parents actually lived in London, 48 Valletta Road, Shepherd's Bush. My parents got divorced, and then my mom and my two siblings and I, we moved back to London, to Nigeria. My sister Ronki is on, our sister Femi, who we lost. I lived in London, lived in Nigeria. I went to Fountain Primary School. I went to Surulere Baptist School, and I went to secondary school actually in Ondo. I'm from Ondo, and you are too, right? I went to secondary school in Ondo, St. Monica's Grammar School, Ondo, and then I went to Ife. Growing up in Nigeria for me was mixed. Our grandmother lived with us. So I have fond memories of my grandmother, taking care of my grandmother, living with her, going through all the hassles and the not much hassles that you have living
No.
with your grandmother. I had some experiences that were not so pleasant. I was sexually abused as a child. And that's why I wrote my book, Don't Waste Your Pain. And I say that to say that I strongly believe whatever you go through as a child, pleasant and unpleasant, it's always for a purpose. Like I said, I grew up with my grandmother, took care of her, did things for her. Fast forward now, 50 something years later, I own a home care agency. I take care of old people. I'm teaching people how to start a home care company. So that's the good part of it too, right? My mom was a single mom. She worked hard, really hard to put all two of us through school. I learned the importance of hard work from my mother. And then unfortunately, I was sexually abused. But I wrote a book about that, and it's helped me journey through that, and it's helped me talk about it openly. It's not something you talk about. It's not really cool. It's not a sexy topic to talk about, so to speak. But I do talk about it, and I wrote a book, and I've helped people, and I continue to help people call friends, relatives who I talk to about it, and make them show that it's okay. You go through these things for a reason. You go through these things because God has a bigger purpose for your life. And so here we are today.
Wow. Wow. Nika, you really hit me hard with that news you just dropped.
That's what they call it, bam, bam, bam.
I'm telling you, I'm really thrown off balance, honestly. So sorry to hear.
Yeah.
But we just thank God that you're alive, you're doing
Yes.
well, happily
Yes.
married with two lovely children. We thank God for that. So you left
Thank you.
Nigeria. What drove you out of Nigeria?
So it's funny because when we were growing up, Nigeria wasn't as bad as it is now, right? It was a natural trajectory. You go to school, you get a job. You have a boyfriend, you get married. I mean, it's just like that's how it was. And I tell my kids now, like in our days, there was no discussion about university. You finish and you go and do jam, right? And you go to university. And so I really, even though my sister had left, Femi had moved back to London right after we left Ife. She didn't even finish youth corps, she left. I didn't want to leave. I really wanted to stay in Nigeria. I loved it. I really wanted to stay. And so I remember going to London. Even when before I went to London briefly after I finished university. But my job, they used to make fun of me. My friends make fun of me then that, oh, Nika just wants to buy a golf. I said, I'm just going to come to London. I'm going to work, save my money. I'm going to buy a golf and I'm going back to Nigeria. That was my plan. And so I did work. I did save money. I didn't buy the golf, but I went back to Nigeria. And I was promised a job in an oil company because, back then, someone who knows someone. We had a really good family
Yeah.
member who was quite high up, an older man, right? He was supposed to help me get a job in an oil company. The day I decided to leave Nigeria was the day I went to see him in his office. And he locked the door and asked me, what do I do on the weekends? Can we meet up somewhere? This is somebody who's like a family friend, an old man. And I was so, so, so disappointed. And I just lost all faith in everything. And I lost faith in Nigeria, the system. Because my sister Femi had always said, boy, let's go. I said, no, for where? I'm staying, I'm going to be here. And so that's when I left. I got home. I was so devastated. And I told my grandmother, then I'm moving. And my grandmother, may her soul rest in peace. I remember she said, "What did the man say?" So I told her. The next day, my grandmother was all about 5'2". She said, "We're going to his office." We went there. She abused him well in Ondo, and then we left. And that was when I decided to leave Nigeria. And so I left. And I moved to the UK initially. And so, yeah, that was my story.
Wow. You hit me again. You hit me
I told you
again.
it's going to be a plan.
Oh, your sister Ronke Aderigbe said, "My sister is my inspiration." Oh, how lovely. How lovely. Wow. Wow.
So, yeah. It's funny, right? You never expect those things as a child. Even though I was growing up then, I had finished university. I looked up to this man. I felt like, oh yeah, we're gonna get. But I noticed whenever I went to his office, because I went a couple of times, his secretary always gave me weird looks. But I thought she gave me those looks because I don't know. I never really thought about it. But now that I think, when I thought about it later on, I said he probably had other people come. I didn't know. I just used to go there. He locked his door and he grabbed my hand and he said, which one? Where are we going? Where are we going here? I just yanked my hand out of him. I stormed out of the place, and that was it.
Thank God. Just thank God for everything.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you were so young then, and thank God you didn't fall for it, So Nike, so now in the United States of America, where you are, Georgia, right?
Yes, Georgia.
Yeah, where you are now a provider. You provide frontliners to right, frontliners. They're frontliners to
yes.
Yes. So now, you told us that you own a care agency. So I want to ask you, before we go into the care agency story, I want to ask you, how did you come about? Okay, you've told us how you came about. No, you haven't told us. You just said
I came started the home.
You just said because you took care of your grandma. Maybe that's why you have a care home. But what actually inspired you to start a care agency in the United? Because it's not easy starting that kind of thing in a foreign land.
Tell me about it.
Yes.
And so it was funny. My mom was a single mom, right? And my mom has always said, make sure you have your own business. So make sure you have something on the side. So even when I had a job, like a 9 to 5, so to speak, I always knew I was going to start a business. And so my mom worked for an agency in the UK. And I remember one day she told me, she said, they have these things in America, right? You should start one. So I thought, oh, okay, well, we'll look into it. And so shortly after, so we started the company, we formed the company, picked the name, my husband and I did all that. And shortly after that, I lost my job. My secure job, I worked as a business analyst for Equifax, which is like a credit bureau here for 13 years or so. And I really liked what I did. And all of a sudden, out of the blues, I lost my job. And I remember calling my mom from the parking lot crying. And she said, Ashibi, you started the home care agency. You can talk, right? You will wake it work, And so we started. And this was 11 years ago. We'll clock 12 years in October this year. So we started, and like you said, it's really difficult. And I tell people now, because out of that, I started a home care consulting company, because a lot of people want to get into the business because it is very profitable and it's very rewarding as well. And so I started a company just telling people how to start that. But I always tell them that when you start your agency, wherever it is, whatever name you call it, you have to pray really hard, and God will give you a group of clients that will be your niche. Those will be the people you focus on. Those will be the people that you work with the most. And so God gave us our little niche. We do a lot of work with ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease, and we also work a lot with Medicaid providers here. So 11 years down the line, my husband and I work together. We started the company together. We work together every day. There's a God. We're still married, but it's a lot of fun.
Thank God.
It's a lot of fun.
Very interesting. So during the COVID, during the heat of the COVID period, I mean, how did you cope? Were your carers were they reluctant to go to work because of the situation? And when you had people who didn't want to go to work, how did you cope? Did you have to wear the PPE and go into work yourself?
So with the COVID,
Yeah.
one thing I tell everybody, and I never do, is I never ever ever go to do the job myself. You have to learn how to work on your business, not in your business. So as a business owner, you have to have that mindset. So I never ever ever have had to go and provide care for anybody. But you have to improvise, you find ways. So when COVID hits, even myself, I was scared to go to people's home, talk less of the caregivers. So we have a really good director of operations, Courtney Robinson. I always have to give a shout out to her. She's been with us for 9 out of the 11 years we've been in operations. We had to sit down and we had to really strategize, how are we going to make this work? I knew people were scared, but I knew at the time as well that people who like doing the jobs will go. We have to find a way to keep them. So one thing I started doing immediately, I started doing weekly conference calls with our staff. I will record and I'll do the conference call, I'll record it and we'll blast it out. We found PPE, we had to. We had masks, we had sanitizers, we had to buy them at high rates to give to people.
Yeah.
We connected with our clients. We have to call our clients as well and make adjustments. So people who normally would have somebody come twice a day, I just told them, listen, combine your hours. You really don't need people in and out of your home, just once. And so we did all that, but it was tough. And one thing we did do, to the glory of God, everybody that worked for us, anybody, we had a couple of people who did get COVID. We paid them. We paid them for them being at home. If you have a family member who tested positive for COVID, and because of that, you have to isolate. If you were in contact with a client of ours and you got COVID, we paid them for staying at home. So that way they will remember to come back after. So those are things that we did. I heard of big companies, big organizations, they were not paying people who got COVID. They were not paying people whose family members got sick. We had to do that. And so, because this business is a relationship business, they have to like you. So our caregivers genuinely like us because of that. So they stayed around, they came back, they brought their friends, they stayed. And so we wrote it out. And our business grew, catapulted during COVID because a lot of people were switching. I mean, it felt good to be able to operate, and we were remote. Everybody worked from home, and we kept going. And to the glory of God, we're here. Wrote it out, and we're still pushing.
Nice
So.
one. Wow, good to hear. Wow, well done. I mean, it's amazing. You know, last week I interviewed a doctor, a geriatric doctor who deals with the elderly, and today again we are talking about the elderly. Maybe this is elderly month in Adoni's Palo.
Yes, it's the elderly month in Adoni's Palo.
Yes. Even me too. I'm interested in the elderly. I forgot to mention last week that in Nigeria, I think I mentioned it, that in my church, I'm part of the people who started the elderly ministry in my church.
Oh wow!
Yeah, yes. And then also I have
that's a calling.
Yeah. I'm really interested in the elderly, and then also I have a small, like charity. I won't call it an NGO because it's quite small. I have a lot of old friends.
Okay.
Yes, I take things to them. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Provision, all that. Yes.
Well, God bless you. God bless you.
I do that. Yes.
God bless you.
I'm really interested in the elderly. Yeah. So now, what led you to start the Femi Pinto Sickle Cell? Because I mean, we all knew Femi. Femi was very popular when we were growing up. She was a dancer. Femi Pinto.
Yes.
She was a dancer. She used to dance. I mean, she used to do all the break dance and everything. Did she take part in some competitions?
Yes, so John Player competition back then.
Exactly.
She did all the. She was the cool sister, and even in Ife, that good university in Ife, I was known as Aburo Pinto, and up till now, even in the States, it's always funny. Whenever I go now, we started going out again, but whenever I go somewhere like a party, a gathering where there's a lot of people, I promise you, but by the end of the day, somebody will come up to me and say, "You look familiar. Did you go to Ife?" Yes, I know where it's going. Did you have a sister, right, Femi? Yes. Oh, wow. Where is she? How is she? Sometimes I tell them she's passed away. Sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But it never fails. Somebody will always come up to say, "Oh, I remember you. You had a sister." And so, so that was my sister. So what is my question? Oh, I'm answering the question
Yeah.
how we started the foundation. So she had sickle cell. Femi had
Yes. How
sickle
you say?
cell.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
didn't know that in school because she was always so full of life. She was a dancer. She was always around, but she did battle sickle cell, and
Yeah.
sickle cell claimed her life 3 years ago. Actually, her
Yeah.
birthday is next Wednesday. Well, is it her birthday? No, no, it's not her birthday. Anyway, 3 years ago, she passed away, and so I thought to myself, I want to figure out a way to, everybody does something. Let me figure out a way to help people with sickle cell. And
And give
so
back.
I reached out to, and give back to them because that's what, and I'm wearing my band. I don't know if you can see. This is my
Yeah.
Femi Pinto band that I wear.
Yeah.
So anyway, I reached out to our secondary school. We went to secondary school in Ondo. And you have to picture us. We came from London. They took us to Ondo, straight to Ondo, and I was 9. And so, but I have very fond memories of, you know.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Nika, we can't hear you. No. Do you want to go out and come back in? Yeah, go out and come back in. Sorry, viewers, for what has just happened. Sorry. One of the technical hitches of social media. Wow. Yes, I've invited her back. Sorry about that. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Sorry about that, my people. Wow, Nika is unable to join. Let me send her a message and ask her to.
Ah,
Okay, you're
Femi.
back. Thank God. What happened? Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Can you hear
yeah,
me
we can
now?
hear you.
The
Yes.
devil is a liar. Oh. I
It's
had
because
a
you were
call
talking
come
about.
through, and that's
Oh, okay,
yeah.
maybe that's
So
what happened. Yeah, yeah, I think that's what
yeah,
happened. Yeah, so you were talking
yeah.
about
So now we're
you were
back.
9 years
Sorry,
old and
everybody.
yeah, yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry. So that the good thing about it is that we get more time. So I was
Yes,
talking about
yes,
the
yes, yes.
foundation, how we started. So I reached out to, I was 9 when we
Yeah,
went to secondary school. So I reached out to my
yeah,
secondary school and I asked, is there anybody in this school who has sickle cell? Thankfully, we have a classmate who works there now. And she said, yeah, there's maybe 3 people that have sickle cell. I said, well, I want to start something where every month we can help them. We'll give them medications, give them food, get them to see a doctor. And she said, oh, okay, sure. And then I reached out to the Sickle Cell Foundation of Nigeria. I have a contact
yeah,
here who's very well connected over there. And then I
yeah,
discussed what I was trying to do. I said, well, we're trying to help people with sickle cell, children in Ondo. What are your thoughts? And the director said, we have these things called sickle cell clubs. And what they are meetings that the people that meet every month who have sickle cell and they get help with whatever they need. So I was
Yes.
like, oh, okay, this sounds good. I said, well, we could start one in, I said, do you have one in Ondo? She said, no. So I said, I'd like to start one in Ondo with the 3 people that we had. There were 3 at the time that we have, the 3 kids. And she said, okay. So they meet every month. We started off meeting every month in at my secondary school. Okay, Amber is watching. Amber is the one who connected me to the Sickle Cell Foundation of Nigeria. Her
Okay.
dad is the executive director. Hi, Amber Koka. Her dad is
Hi,
Professor
Amber.
Akinoju. He's
Okay.
the executive director of the Sickle Cell Foundation in
Okay.
Nigeria. So we needed a location, and as God would have it, we started meeting in our secondary school. So I was like, okay, they can meet. The principal said they can meet here. So we started meeting in the secondary school. There were 4 children at the time. Fast forward, we've been doing it now for 2 years. We have 1 club in Ondo, we have 1 club in Lagos, and we have another club in Ibadan. The one in Ondo, we have 27 children.
Oh, wow.
27 children meet every month. We give them their medications, we give them food. We have a doctor that comes to see them, and we have a genetic counselor. In Lagos, so our mom passed away just before Femi passed away. And so in Lagos, where our mom lived, we have another club that meets there. Right now, we have 17 children that meet there once a month as well. And then we're starting one in Ibadan. The one in Ibadan, right now we have 4 children. And the interesting part about the foundation in Ibadan is that the children are actually in an orphanage,
Okay.
and we help them. So can you imagine you have sickle cell and you live in an orphanage? It's like a triple whammy. So we have those 3 clubs that we work with. We formed the sickle cell Femi Pinto Sickle Cell Fund, funds that exclusively. We also have a program called Adopt a Patient. So that's like
Okay.
random people that we know that have sickle cell who need
Okay.
help. And so we have a child in Ilorin who is 7. He's just turned 8, and we help him as well. So all that is coordinated. We have a board of directors. So when things started getting like really like a real charity, so we started having all these things. People are trying to donate money, and I thought, oh, we should probably set this up as a real foundation, right? So we
Yeah.
registered it. We're registered as a nonprofit in the state of Georgia. We have a board. We have a board of directors. I have a treasurer. I have a couple of doctors on the board, and we meet every quarter. We have to just help us strategize how
Hmm.
things are going. So we've
Hmm.
been running the foundation now for 3 years. Our biggest fundraiser is our 5K walk. To the glory of God, we had one last year. It was virtual, but we still were able to raise a lot of money. And we usually have our walk in October, round about Femi's birthday. So I'm wearing my shirt from the walk today. It
Yes.
says Team Pinto. Um, so that's our biggest fundraiser. But it's been really, really rewarding. It just keeps Femi's memory alive. Because when you lose a
Yeah.
sister, when you lose anybody, really, grief does that to you. And there's something that we call primary grief and secondary grief. Your primary grief is you lose that loved one. You go through the emotions. But then the secondary grief are the things that come along with um, that loss. The things that come along with that loss are, for instance, for me, Femi was my gist partner when I had a long drive. So if I have to drive from here to the airport, from my house to the airport is about 45 minutes. I'll call Femi, and she always says, "Hey, Bele, you found your entertainer. Where are you going now?" So now when I get into a car to go on the long drive, I remember that.
Yeah.
But having the foundation, helping the children has been so rewarding. I'm so thankful to our board. I don't know if anybody is on. Tokumbo Lushola is on my board. We have Dakbo, we have Remy, Yetunde, and my sister, of course. I dragged her kicking and screaming. She's on the board. We just
Yeah.
Tayo Bolu, we just all come together and just strategize, and it's been very, very rewarding. I could talk
Wow.
about the foundation all day long. It's
Yes, I
been
know.
fun to
You
do,
know.
to
Yeah.
help the children. And it's not, I
Yes.
tell people, it's not that for us that live our way, so to speak, it's not a lot of money, really. But
Yes.
when
Yes.
everybody comes together, like when we do our walk, registration is like $20, sponsorship is like $100. But when everybody comes together and you multiply that effort, you'll be amazed about how much work you can do and who you can
You can do.
touch.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing how people
Mm-hmm.
who live abroad, it's amazing how much work they do to help, I mean, to give back
Mm-hmm.
to society. You know, people are doing
Yeah.
this thing silently, but you know, people don't really know, and only God knows. And by the
Yes.
grace of God, your reward is in heaven. God will
Yes.
surely
Thank you.
reward you
Thank you.
for for all of you that live in the diaspora, that are doing things to give back to society. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was listening to your last, I think it was 2 weeks ago with B.
Yeah, B.
Femi
Yes.
Salami's sister. Yeah, I watched that as well.
Yes.
So impressive. The things she's doing with
Yes.
children with the eyesight. And her journey to
Honestly.
get there, right? Everybody has a journey.
Yes.
Everybody has a story. And so that was
everybody has a story.
Yes.
Everybody has a story. Everybody has a testimony. Yeah, we really thank God for his mercies. You know, when Femi died, I mean, you know, Femi was also my sister's.
Very good friend.
Yes. So it was really very.
It was very sad. And I have to say though, I want to say something. I will forever be grateful for my friend's sisters, including your sister Toro.
Yes.
Because when Femi died in London, when she got ill and she was in the hospital, one of our dear friends, Dupe, went to see her in the hospital. And Dupe called me crying. She said, Femi doesn't look right. And I was like, what do you mean? She's sick all the time. Don't worry about it. But when the doctors told us that she was dying, Dupe rallied around Femi's friends, including your sister. And they were all in the room with her for hours until she died. How can I ever find the words, Shike, to thank those people? We were not there. My sister Ronki was there. I wasn't there. How can I ever find the words to thank those people? Her friends, Chike, all her friends, Toro, Felicia, Dupe, they were all in the room with her, singing, praying, dancing, laughing, just with her. And I know she knew they were with her. I'll never forget. I remember I called Toro, and because I called everybody to say thank you. Toro said, Nike, why are you thanking me? You know, Femi was our friend. She was our sister.
Yes.
She needed us. We were there. God will bless each and every one of them.
Amen. I remember when they were in Ife, they used to walk around together.
They were all together. Yes.
Everybody knew them. They were a team.
Yes.
And thank God, on her deathbed, they were there.
They were there. They were
and
all there.
She must have felt close. And then with her sister, you know, Ronke,
they were all there.
She must have felt really very good. Wow. May her jolly soul rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Rest in peace. So rest in peace. Wow. Nike, honestly, I want to ask you this question, and I hope you don't mind. You know, you mentioned at the beginning of the program that you were sexually abused by who? Was it a relative or a stranger?
Family member. I always say that people.
Is the person still alive?
Yes, they're both still alive. People who get sexual abuse, the statistics show that it's never a stranger. It's always someone you know, because it's built on trust. And so as a child, when you go through that trauma, it's always somebody you know. And I have walked through the journey. I have forgiven them. I have forgiven them over and over again. And I'm glad, because my mom passed away 3 years ago as well. I remember I had a discussion with my mom. I'm so glad we had that discussion, because we never really sat down to talk about it. She read the book. She kind of glozed things. I said, Mommy, did you read the book? She said, yes. I said, so what do you think? She said, well, I read the book. But when she came to visit me a couple of months before she passed away. And we had a very long discussion. And she said, Nikki, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what you went through. I'm sorry for the violations you went through, because I didn't know I didn't know. And I said, Mommy, it's fine, you know. I said, it is fine. And I'm glad we had that discussion, because they say when you're sexually abused, you don't dwell on the abuser, you dwell on yourself. And you dwell, as a child, you dwell on the people who were around that should have protected you. And so for me to be able to have that discussion with my mom, and she passed away less than a year later, just nailed it for me. You know, it just really brought it home, and you just move on. So yeah, they're family members. We do Zoom calls once in a while, because it's funny, over the pandemic, there's events, right?
Don't they feel guilty? Don't they feel guilty when they see you?
I don't think so. I don't even give them the satisfaction of no. So let me tell you a funny story, a side story. Whenever we have family events, I'm always the resident MC, online, offline, or whatever. So when we have events and I have to MC. My sister Ronki is on there. She's always very concerned. She'll be like, so Shema, we're okay. I said, okay, I will be fine. It's fine. And so I will do the MC, call whoever, do man, get off. Because you don't give them that satisfaction. And so whether they feel guilty, maybe everybody will go to God now. God will judge everybody. For me, Sha, I know that I am free, I am healed, I am well, I am thriving. And it's a purpose. And I don't take it for granted what I went through, bad or good. I just know it's for a purpose. And yeah.
Did your mom ever go back to the people to ask to quarrel with them?
I don't think so. I don't think she wanted that confrontation, and that's okay. That's fine, because I felt like we nailed it. We talked about it. We nailed it for ourselves. God will deal with the rest of it for us now. Wow. That's what the Bible says. We really don't have to fight those battles. There's some battles you don't even need to fight. You don't have to put on any weapon to fight those battles. There are some battles that you just wrap up and you leave. Shebi.
Wow.
And that's it. So that's how I see it.
Very inspirational.
Thank you.
Very inspirational, because I mean, me. Somebody just asked me, I'll go and fight. Even see the person now, I will fight with the person.
For me, it's interesting. Out to me who the same thing has happened to, and I'm able to talk them through it, teach them how to forgive, leave it alone, and it's fine. Because you also don't want, the brain is a very powerful part of our body, right? You don't want any unnecessary real estate occupying your brain. So that part, you leave.
Yeah.
Because it's unnecessary clutter in your brain. It's unnecessary anger. It's unnecessary disappointment. And I have a daughter, right? I have a son. I know how. I want to be able to educate her, be there for her 100%. I'm thankful for my husband. I'm thankful for my husband. Caller is on there. I'm thankful for you, because he helped me walk through it. Abi, how else can somebody be married and have all that baggage and not thank the person that they married for being there? So thank my husband too.
Wow. We thank God, Nike. Your beauty, you were such, I mean, when we're in school, you were so beautiful. Still are. And your inner self is as your outer beauty. So
thank you.
Forgiving and all that. Thank God, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you're an author of 3 books. You've told us the reason why you wrote the first book was what was the name of the first book?
The first book is called Don't Waste Your Pain.
Yeah. Don't waste your pain. Okay. Yes. Okay. What inspired you to write that book?
Don't Waste Your Pain is what I wrote based on my experience with the sexual abuse. Don't waste your pain. You take your pain and you put it to good use. My second book, Good Morning, Lord. It's me, your favorite daughter. I wrote that. It's a narrative of different prayer points. As a child of God, as a favorite daughter or favorite son, we are all his favorites. We have to have that boldness in us when we pray. We have to know who we are. And so I wrote that book, Good Morning, Lord. It's me, your favorite daughter, as part with prayer points. I use specific examples of my life, of things that have triggered different prayer points. And so that's the reason for my second book. Now, my third book, and it's funny because I'm a talker, right? So I've always been a talker. So I like to name my books fun names that will be catchy. So my third book is called Kicking Grief in High Heels. And I wrote that. So what I failed to mention is that when my sister passed away, Femi died exactly 3 weeks after we lost our mom. And it was very, very tragic for us. And to bring it even to better perspective, we buried our mom on Wednesday and Femi died on Friday. So it's a double. I remember people would call, wait, no, it's your mom that died, right? I would say, no, my sister died too. Oh, wow. Because you go through that. That's grief on all different kinds of levels. With my mom, she was older, she was ill. We walked through that journey with her. But Femi's was very sudden. It's I'm going to the hospital, I don't feel well, to they're about to turn off the machine. So having walked through that journey of grief, I do what I like doing the most. I started writing things down, especially over the pandemic. I started writing things down because people were dealing with grief then too, right? People were losing loved ones. People were losing their freedom. People were losing their rights to do certain things. Us in America, we like our rights. So people were losing their rights to go out without wearing a mask. People were losing all that. So that's all kinds of grief. People are losing their income. And so I put all that, I used my experience walking through the journey of grief from the death of my mom and my sister.
Your sister.
And so that's why I came up with the third book. And all three books are on my page, Nike.Aremu, the Nike Aremu. Hey, Onyiko, oh, hi.
Onyiko is my Onyiko is my business partner. Onyiko
Is she really?
Hi, Onyiko. Thank you for coming.
Way back.
Thank you for your support.
Before she became Onyiko Afolabi, we go way back, way back. It's good to see you, Onyiko.
Yeah.
We knew her as Onyiko Ajala back in the day.
I've known Onyiko since she was maybe 5 or 6. We went to same primary school together.
Oh, did you really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a small world.
Yes, her brother was my classmate. Her senior brother was my classmate.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting. Small world.
Yes.
Small world.
Yeah. You're welcome, Onyiko. So I was going to ask you, Femi didn't have any children. She didn't leave any child. She didn't have children.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Femi didn't have any children. She never got married.
Okay.
So no, it's just her.
Okay. Okay. So how do you juggle your work with looking after your family?
That's another question, right? So people always wonder, where do you find the time? How come? And there are a couple of things that help me. One of the biggest things I always like to put, the disclaimer I put out there first is that my children are grown. My son is 29, my daughter is 27. My son lives in New York. My daughter is quite independent on her own. She moved to New York as well. She recently just moved back to Georgia. So I don't have to do hands-on with them, even though I'm involved, but you know what I'm saying, they're grown, they're older. So that's the part. So
but when you started, they were in their teenage age, they were teenagers when you started.
Tolu, my daughter always tells the story. Yeah, I just used to go to my mom's room and she just had paper all over the floor. This is when I was trying to start the business. And it was funny because I mentioned when I lost my job, my son was going to college and my daughter was just getting into her final year in high school, getting ready to go to college. So I remember breaking that news to them and they were both looking at me like, oh, so what's going to happen? And so, but one thing I've always done, that I've always learned to do is that, and I think it's important, everybody talks about self-care, it's thrown around quite a lot these days, but I strongly believe in the power of a good Sunday nap. And I will tell you what that means for me. So weekends, I typically don't work. I try and carve out times here and there. But one thing I do unfailingly every Sunday, I'll go to church, come home, or when we do virtual church, whatever, come home, I will take a nap. When I take a nap, I turn off my phone, I wear my night clothes, I go to sleep. All my friends know. They will call and leave a message, you're sleeping, you're taking your afternoon, a Sunday nap, Abby. But for me, it just gives me an uninterrupted afternoon, 4 hours. And even when I wake up, I don't get up. I'll stay there, lie in bed, read a book, just really, really mentally tune off for most part of the day. And that helps. In terms of juggling responsibilities, I do also believe in the power of delegation. What you don't know how to do, do not try to do it. The ones that are essential to your business, the fundamentals to running your business, you need to know, right? But certain things I don't do. I believe in the power of delegation. Delegate. That's why I said earlier on when I told you that I never, ever, ever, in the 11 years we've owned the home care company, I've never gone to provide care for anybody. I am not a CNA. I do not intend to be one, because if you run your business well and you delegate well enough, there's no need for you to do that. So you learn to work on your business, not in your business. And that's the power of delegation. So a lot of things that I juggle, They are very well delegated. I have a book publicist who handles my book publishing. I have a coach who helps me with putting together my coaching business. I have somebody who helps me with my social media, who gives me ideas, we strategize, we do all that. So I think that's very important. As women, we need to understand that we don't have to do it all. I do not like to clean, so I don't clean my house. I'm starting to cook more because we became pescatarians maybe like 3-4 months ago. My husband and I, so we don't eat meat, we don't eat dairy, we don't eat a lot
What's
of
that?
things. And so,
Can you explain to us
pescatarian,
what?
ah, welcome to the world of the Niger pescatarian. So I don't eat um, beef, chicken. I only eat fish. And I don't eat dairy. So I don't eat eggs. I don't eat milk. I have milk, but it'll be almond milk or something like that. So that has made me now start to cook more because we joined like a food delivery system. So they deliver the meals and you make them. And the lady who helps me plan my social media said we should have a channel with all my little eats because I started to do that a lot. Man, I don't use oil. So that's another thing as well. So yeah, welcome to the world of the Niger pescatarian. For me, it wasn't hard because I'd never really been a big fan of red meat or anything like that. But my husband likes his steak. So now we eat fish and he's fine. We're going on through 3 months now. So it's a lifestyle. So we keep going. So
God
back to the
help you.
delegate.
I wish you all
God
the
help
best.
me. Oh, wish me all the best. Pray for me. Wish me all the best. I have to confess, I backslid on Sunday. I went to a Thanksgiving of a wedding Thanksgiving, and it's been a long time since I saw father rice in leaves. They had that at the party in America. Let me tell you, Sheke, I was halfway through the plate before I realized, wait, I just ate more right. That's meat. Oh man, well, I'll just finish it. So I do slack once in a while.
Ah, yes, it's
Give
allowed.
yourself, cut yourself some slack. So,
It's allowed.
but
Allowed.
other than that, so the power of
Yeah.
delegation, I delegate a lot. I really try to strategize my day. I start my day off, really calm, and I exercise, I walk. And that way you're not overwhelmed. Because if you run, like I technically run 2 businesses and a full-time foundation. The foundation in Nigeria, we have an admin person who helps us run
Yeah.
all that. So they coordinate all that. So it's doable.
You're really
It's doable.
organized, Nike. You're very organized.
I know, right?
It's good.
Even the walk, I have like a project plan for the walk. So we started planning now. The walk is not till October, but I've created my project plan for the next 4 months, what needs to be done each month. So come September, we are all set and ready to go. Otherwise, you just get overwhelmed and it'll be wishy-washy. And like I said, it's our biggest fundraiser. We have to make it organized and it has to work well. So I've
So
started planning
that
now.
work is for fundraising, right? For
Yes.
the Femi Pinto
And we hold
thing.
it in 3 countries, correct. We have teams in the UK, we have a team here, and we have teams in Nigeria.
Oh, well done.
And we all do it, thank you. We all do it at the same time. So we make shirts, we have Femi's picture on the back, and that's our biggest fundraiser.
You also mentioned that you are a consultant. You also you consult, you help people start the business, care agency.
Yes,
so
yes.
Is it just
correct.
is it just in the US you do that? Do you cross over to the UK or Nigeria to advise people on how to start? Do you know how it works in places like in the UK or in Nigeria?
It's funny because the person I spoke with when I decided to start the home care company, when I started to start the consulting company, is actually in the UK. She had called me and said, Anika, should you do this home care thing? Teach me. So the fundamentals is the same. Some things of course will be different. The licensing process might be different. The requirements might be different, but the fundamentals of running the business is the same wherever it is. And so I have someone in Nigeria, in London, that I'm working with now. I have a couple of people here. It's called the Home Care Experts. I also have a YouTube channel, like as if I don't have enough to do. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Nike, the Home Care Expert. So I put content out there. We bring people around. But the answer to your question is I can help people start a home care agency wherever they are in terms of the running it and operating it because the fundamentals are the same. Some things are different. Same like in the States. Like in the States here, each state has different requirements, different licensing things. And so for right now, I can only help people in Georgia and Maryland. All other states, because it's different. But the fundamentals, once you get your license and you're up and running, the fundamentals of marketing, scheduling, hiring, firing, maintaining your clients is the same. So yeah, I can work with people wherever they are. So that business is called the Home Care Expert.
Yeah, experts. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good to know, because I know it's a profitable business.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's needed, and there's a demand for it.
Very much needed.
Yes.
Very much needed. Very much needed, because where you are, people live up to old age, very old age. Even in the UK, you find 90 some 100 year olds.
Oh yeah.
You still find them here, still moving
And they're healthy.
about gently, and they pump them with a lot of medication, and that keeps them alive.
Alive and well, and
well,
some people as well who go the natural path. They live longer, they're healthy, their bones are strong, and so live long and well. And I listened to somebody, the geriatrician who was on your live last week.
Yes.
She had a live yesterday, and I listened to it, and she did say something that made sense. And she said, "You can't be old and poor and unhealthy. You have to be able to manage your life as when we are young, so when we are older, we're able to take care of ourselves better." And that really resonated with me. Yeah.
Yes. It's amazing, because you see, the truth of the matter is that except we want to die, we're all going to grow old.
Yes. So we have to make sure
it's only death now that can stop you from crossing over to old age.
Yes.
So I mean, if you're alive, we have to just really take very good care of ourselves, of our health. Very, very healthy aging,
Yes.
Very, very important.
Very
really,
important.
Yeah. So do you have any questions for Nike?
Yes. And I have a question for you. How did you come up with the name Aduni's Parlor?
Aduni is my name.
Oh, is that your name? Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm the only one amongst my siblings that I have 3 names. Adesheke, Atinuke, Aduni.
Aduni. Oh, yes. Wow.
My name is Aduni.
Okay.
Yes, and I ran 2 businesses in Nigeria some time ago, and there was a hairdressing salon, and it was called Hair and Nail Parlor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just decided to just add the parlor to the Aduni thing. And I've always wanted to do this, really. I've always wanted to interview.
It's very
people.
nice.
I've always wanted to interview people, and thank God to social media, because I tried to get on television, and I was told to bring sponsors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and when I started seeing people interviewing people on Instagram, I said, nobody is asking me for sponsors. No one is. I mean, though I would have loved to have a nice setting in a sitting room with flowers
eventually.
And decor around. Yes, eventually I'll do that.
Yes.
So I would like to go on television sometime, but for now,
because you do this very well. Yeah. Your interviewing skills are very good. You do this very well, and so I see it. I see Aduni's Parlor becoming more than just an Instagram live.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah,
and
you do it well.
It's not easy because I've become a journalist. I mean, I have no training in journalism. I've become a journalist. I chase after. I have 1 or 2 people that have not answered me.
Oh wow!
Answered me. Yes, I've sent some, and there are people known to me. They've not answered. Maybe they don't want to be on. Maybe they don't want to expose themselves. Yes, and some are still thinking about it. But eventually, when they see how it goes, then. But I'd like to just say a big thank you to the Shomolu twins, because I mean, they were my first. They were my first.
Really?
Yes, they were my first guest, and I mean, they were so helpful, and I thank them for starting Aduni's Parlor.
So they started. I remember them from back in the London days. You're throwing out names from way back in the London days.
Yes. Those ladies are such. I mean,
they're a lot of fun. They've always been a lot of fun.
Yes, very inspiring. I mean, and they do a lot. Those things that they wear, they send them home. They send them to Nigeria.
Really?
Yes, they do.
Oh wow!
All the fashion, all the things that they wear. They send them home. And after the pandemic, I'm going to go for my glasses, because they have a lot of, they're just they're fashionistas to the core.
Oh yeah. They've always been, though. We're talking about, because I knew them back in the 80s, back in the London days. They've always been early 90s back then. Yeah. So interesting.
Yes, they
Yeah.
can put on anything and it looks good on them. They can just wear
And
anything.
because they are twins, look at
Yeah.
us look at us gisting about them. Are they even on? Are they on?
Well, I think I
I
saw
don't.
Kenny.
Oh yeah,
I
she's
saw
there.
Kenny,
Yeah, she's
yes.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're so bold, and I mean, they're just bold,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So and
Interesting.
they're about to start a Jire concept or something. So when they started,
Okay.
I'm going to bring them back
Oh, that would
onto
be
the
good.
show
That
when
would
they
be good.
start.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we can learn
Hopefully, I hope
about
they
it.
will come on.
Yeah. They will come
Yes.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend Bimpe
Yes.
just joined too. Good to see
Yeah.
everybody. So
So
any
Nika, how would
questions?
you
I'm
who
listening.
just
No, Bimpe, I know
yes.
her from way, but you remember
Oh,
from FSS
Kenny.
days? Way
Yes,
back FSS
I
days.
remember being paid.
Bimpe,
Bimpe Olajide, yes,
sister
I
too.
remember her very well.
She has a
Jide,
sister.
Bimpe, welcome. Kenny, see, Kenny is on.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see.
She called my full name, Adesheke.
Adeshike.
Quincy, nice to see you. Foluke Olayimika, Ngozi Edu, nice to see you
Oh,
all.
Foluke.
Yeah.
Nice to see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Nike, how would you like to be remembered?
Um, I
Doing
think
hi.
I would like to be remembered as a fun person who took her life challenges and her life successes and life challenges and turned it around, who helped a lot of people, helped people with sickle cell. Yeah, I think mainly it's important that we find our life purpose and we make sure we do it. Because remember, that's what the Bible says. When you have those talents, you have to put them to use. For me, I feel like my talents are in speaking and connecting and socializing, gisting, and I feel like those it can be talents, right? So that will help you grow a business. That will help you. When I start my harassing people to be to participate in the charity, I can raise money quickly by myself. We had McDonald's sponsor us the last work that we did, which was a big deal. I know how to do all that. So I like to be remembered as that, as a fun person who celebrated her successes and also her challenges and turned it around for good in the lives of children. Children with sickle cell go through a lot, especially in Nigeria.
Oh, I know.
Um, it's
I know.
it's 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 incomprehensible to me sometimes the things they go through, and the lack of knowledge. They still believe that it's sickle cell is something that it was somebody's fault. It's not. They don't believe sickle cell is like the fault of the father or the fault of the mother. Like the mother brought it on the child or the child. I spoke to a family once, and the son was really ill, and I said, "So what do you do when your child gets ill from sickle cell?" She said, "It's going to die. No, Niabi. There's nothing to do," and the child was right there. So I'm glad that we're able to help. Hey, KJ, I'm glad that we're able to help. I'm glad we're able to help children, especially in Nigeria, and things like that. KJ is another fun person that lives in Atlanta here with us. It's okay. We forgive you for being late. Good to
Hi,
see
KJ. Thank you for
you.
coming.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's been fun.
Nike,
It's been fun.
Nike, I mean, you've been so inspirational. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know this much.
I told you it was going to be a bam, bam, bam session. You didn't know that it was going to be
Thank you.
bam, bam, bam.
Thank you so much. And thank you for agreeing to come because,
Of course.
short notice. Even though I had
Yeah.
told you, I had told you that I was going to, I had mentioned it to you and you said it was okay. But I just came just like that, short notice, and you accepted. Thank you for coming out of your very, very busy schedule. Thank you.
Of course. It's a pleasure to be here. I have enjoyed it.
And may God continue to bless you for opening up. You've inspired a lot of people. People are going through a lot. People have gone through a lot and have not been able to talk about it. And they're still bottling it up. So when you speak about it, it makes you feel better,
Yes.
Makes you feel better. And when you speak about it, you're inspiring people. You never know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I've been able to share.
Yes.
Same thing here. Thanks for having me. Thanks for allowing me to go to those tough parts that some people don't like to talk about. Thanks for your interviewing skills that have made it easy. And thanks for everybody being there. My dear sister, I love you loads. So yeah.
Ronke, thank you.
And Toyin, Toyin
Debayo,
is
Toyin
my brother
Oyewole,
from another mother.
KJ,
Yeah,
Kenny
thanks for
Diva,
being there.
Doimi, Onyeko Ngozi, Curtis, everyone. Oh yeah, the fairy goddess. Thank you all for coming. God
Thanks
bless you. Have a
everybody. God
lovely
bless you.
week. Please
Thank you.
follow Nick. Nick Aremu at the Nike.Aremu.
That's not, you are not saying it correctly.
Okay,
Nike.Aremu.
Nike.Aremu. Please follow Nike.Aremu on Instagram, and also follow Adunis Palo on Instagram. We're going to South Africa next week by the grace of God. I'm going to be interviewing a very young girl. I'm going down to generation below the generation well below us, young, lovely lady, very well brought up lady. So till then, have a lovely week, everyone. God bless you. Thank you for coming.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.